Port Charles had seen its fair share of chaos. Mob wars, missing twins, presumed dead returns, and enough baby switches to fill an entire psychiatric wing. But nothing prepared its residents, on screen or off, for the whirlwind exit of Henry Dalton. And behind that shock stood Daniel Goddard, whose brief but magnetic run as the mysterious tech mogul-turned-enigma left GH fans buzzing. When Henry Dalton first arrived in town, he blended into Port Charles like a shadow, smooth, watchful, hard to read. He said little, smiled even less, and seemed to analyze every person he met as though calculating their weaknesses. Viewers knew someone like that was never meant to stay long, but what they didn't expect was how explosively his arc would end. The calm before the storm. The final week of Goddard's episodes began deceptively quiet, with Henry meeting Elizabeth Weber on the General Hospital rooftop. She had come up seeking air after a particularly harrowing shift. He had come up to, well, no one knew. "It's peaceful here," Henry said, leaning on the railing with the kind of posture that suggested he'd been standing still for a very long time. "Or as peaceful as this town ever gets." Elizabeth studied him. "You talk like you've been here before." His eyes held hers. "In a way, I have." It was the first hint viewers received that Henry's backstory was far deeper and far darker than the charming tech philanthropist image he'd spun since arriving in Port Charles. Goddard had played the moment quiet, but the tension around him thrummed. Something was coming. Pieces falling into place. This was when Anna Devane began to connect dots that had been scattered through months of episodes. The unexplained cyber attacks, the quietly disappearing financial data, and Henry's odd, almost surgical interest in Sonny Corinthos, rival Selena Wu. "He's not working against the mob," Anna realized aloud in her office. "He's working around them." Valentin leaned in. "For whom?" The question hung in the room, one that would not be answered until the final act. Elsewhere, Carly Corinthos had the same uneasy instinct. She stood behind the bar at Bobby, polishing glasses while watching Henry in conversation with Jocelyn. His charm was warm, disarming, but calculated. "He's too smooth," Carly muttered to herself. A storm was brewing, and by midweek it was ready to break. The confrontation no one saw coming. If viewers expected Henry's storyline to end with a quiet arrest or a simple unmasking, GH had far more ambition. The final confrontation played out in true soap opera style. At night, in the rain, outside an abandoned warehouse on the docks. Anna and Jordan arrived first, weapons drawn, following the GPS ping from a device Anna had planted in Henry's car. The warehouse door hung open. Inside, a single lantern illuminated Henry, calm as ever, standing beside a laptop displaying lines of code. At his feet was a duffel bag, money likely, maybe weapons, maybe both. "You're too late," Henry said, turning just enough for his face to catch the lantern's glow. "Step away from the computer," Jordan ordered. "I can't do that." Henry typed something, slowly, deliberately. "I'm finishing what I came here to do." Anna's voice softened. "Henry, listen to me. This doesn't have to end badly." He actually smiled, but it wasn't mocking. If anything, it looked sorrowful. "You still think I'm the villain," he said quietly. "That's the problem with Port Charles. You all see heroes and villains, saviors and sinners, when really we're all the same, just trying to survive." Before Anna could respond, a gunshot echoed. The screen cut to black. When the show returned, chaos had erupted. Sonny Corinthos, drenched, furious, jaw clenched, had fired the shot. "He was about to trigger something. I couldn't let him finish," Sonny growled. As Henry collapsed, Anna rushed forward, catching him before he hit the ground. His breathing was shallow, his eyes finding hers. "It was what you think," Henry whispered. "They made me do it." "Who?" Anna demanded. Henry's hand curled around hers, grip surprisingly strong for a dying man. "Look deeper." And then his body went still. Daniel Goddard's final moment was strikingly understated, a poignant contrast to the gunfire and tension surrounding it. It was the sort of death scene soaps rarely allow. Quiet, tragic, and open-ended enough to spark years of speculation. Fallout in Port Charles. In the days that followed, Port Charles reeled. Sonny faced police scrutiny, even though the self-defense argument seemed airtight. Carly clashed with him, reminding him that pulling the trigger always had consequences, even when his instincts were right. Jocelyn found herself unexpectedly shaken. Henry's mentorship of her had been brief, but impactful. She replayed their conversations, trying to determine whether she'd missed signs of the man beneath the charm. Anna buried herself in the investigation, determined to uncover the they Henry mentioned. She replayed his final words on her phone, over and over. Look deeper. And the more she looked, the more she found. Encrypted documents, offshore accounts connected to faceless shell entities, and a mysterious symbol that viewers immediately began speculating belonged to a new villainous organization. Valentin, watching Anna's obsession grow, placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. He wanted you to find something. Maybe he wanted redemption. But Anna's eyes remained haunted. Or maybe he wanted to warn us. The real shock, Daniel Goddard's exit. Soap insiders reported that Daniel Goddard's departure came as a surprise even within GH production circles. His character had been planned as a long-running wild card, neither hero nor villain, but something in between. Yet Goddard's exit, executed in the most dramatic fashion possible, left fans wanting more. His final performance was lauded as sharp, subtle, and layered. Some hoped Henry Dalton wasn't truly dead. After all, in Port Charles, death has never been much of a barrier. And fans were quick to point out. No body bag was shown. No morgue tag. No funeral. In soap language, that meant one thing. A door was left wide open. And maybe, just maybe, Henry's story had only begun.